Greetings from Mobility Outlook and welcome to Mobility Conversation. Today we have with us Mr. Ravi Chawla, Managing Director and CEO, Gulf Oil Lubricants India. Welcome Mr. Chawla. How are you? How are things?
All well and hope well with you also.
Thank you. I would like to ask you about the very good performance in the first quarter where your top line grew by about 70% and EBITDA 100%. So what are the key drivers?
Well, it was a very good quarter. We had record volumes of 34,000 KL and that was better than last quarter also. But what we must remember is that last year, the same quarter, year on year, April, May, June was a lower demand quarter because the markets were closed. So the growth you see versus last year, of course, has been excellent. We are very happy that the profits have nearly doubled and certainly all the segments are going well. But what you must see is the last year's retail markets were closed, so this quarter is bound to be high. Plus the prices have gone up, so the revenues have gone up. But for us, the market share growth and the volumes is a very good sign that the economy is picking up, and we're looking forward to an exciting year ahead.
Okay, so how is it going to be this year?
Well, generally the industry has been having lower demand because of COVID and other reasons on the retail market. But now we see that conditions are normalized. A bit of pressure on the agri and the motorcycle segment because product prices have gone up. Agri segment will come in phases. Otherwise, the industrial segments, the OEM segments are doing very well. The demand is tracking well. And as the GDP growth is going to be 6-7%, generally lubricant industry grows half of that, 3 to 4%. And as Gulf, we try to get 2 to 3x of that market growth which will happen in terms of the lube industry. So it looks like a growth, double-digit growth here in terms of volume for us, and the demand conditions are also picking up.
Do you see a price revision again?
Well, it's been tough, last few months and even last year. A lot of the input costs have gone up, the base oil costs, the additives, transportation, other things like inflationary things are happening. So we have seen a lot of price increases. It continues a bit, but we are hoping it will cool off in quarter 3 and we'll see better margins in quarter 3.
Yeah. Do you see some other factors helping you drive the growth for FY23?
Certainly GDP growth and the open markets are going to help the lubricant consumption. Industries also are picking up very well, so we're seeing industrial growth go up. And for us, our brand is strong, so we're going to have our distribution going up, which we have increased by 25% in this last quarter. And these are signs which will help us to grow further and penetrate the market. Certainly we are seeing automobile industry also making a revival now in terms of the numbers, the pent-up demand. So all these are very good signs, and a lot of the infrastructure projects, a lot of the initiatives that the government is doing, plus India becoming a sourcing hub for the world, again you're seeing a lot of positives there. So all in all, the industry is expected to grow 3 to 4%, which is a very good sign for us and shows that consumption is going to be good.
Yeah. You have, I think, lubricants, and then part of it is grease, then you have batteries and also filters. How each division is performing?
Yeah, so when you look at the lubricant side, we have automotive and industrial lubricants. That is, again, as I told you, growing well. Industrial is doing better in terms of demand, but B2C, we want to increase our touch points. A bit of challenge on the agri season, as I mentioned earlier. Motorcycle, definitely the prices have gone up, so we have to do more to get market shares back there. And we also do other products like AdBlue, which is a complementary product to our commercial vehicle oils, diesel engine oil. That's doing very well. Our battery business, we are localizing the production. So we will see better margins there coming in. Demand is again picking up there. There's two-wheeler batteries. And these are the main segments which we focus on. And I think we're looking at definitely growth in terms of commercial vehicles, which is very strong, industrial, which is very strong. And agri should pick up as the season picks up. And motorcycle, which is our strength, we really want to get back there.
See, a commercial vehicle is slated to grow by leaps and bounds. That's what the industry experts say. Do you see that helping you in a big way to enhance your growth and profitability?
Yes, most of the consumption is diesel engine oils, which goes into commercial vehicles and tractors. Nearly 40-45% of industry demand in automotive is diesel engine oils. For us also, it is a very strong element of our mix. And as you rightly said, not only are you seeing the new vehicles, but the BS6 vehicles have come, they're using higher grade oils. The consumption when the transportation happens, that is important for us. Infrastructure is another segment where this segment of diesel engine oil goes up. So all these are very good segments and are growing. 2 years there has been obviously a lull in many ways also due to the supplies of the vehicles. Budgets are now available. So all these are good signs, and I think that's going to be good for the industry and for us.
Yeah. See, globally the increasing demand for lubricants from different segments. are actually driving the market, and global market is expected to grow by about 3 to 6% CAGR. What do you see? What kind of growth you see in India?
In terms of GDP or lubricant industry?
No, the CAGR growth, industry growth.
Yeah, lubricant industry growth.
Growth.
Yeah, well, as I told you, India, generally the industry growth would be 2 to 3%, but this year I think it will be higher at 3 to 4 because there is a pent-up demand, and that is very good because it's been either negative or flat for the last few years. So industry growth is going to be a very positive input, where it's directly related to the GDP and other factors which I mentioned. So that's a good sign for the industry, and I'm sure that this is going to happen. And the stronger players obviously will be looking at how to grow well. And for Gulf, it's always been 2 to 3x the market growth rate, which we are very confident we'll be able to take forward.
That will happen in all the divisions, lubricants?
Well, for us, yes, it is going to be definitely all the divisions, but we have lower market share in our passenger car motor oils. Industrial also we have lower market share, so we'll be gunning for higher growth in these segments more than the 2 to 3x.
Okay. No, players across the world have adopted different strategies to enhance their market share, broad base their footprint, etc. What is Gulf Oil's strategy?
Well, so Gulf Oil in India, we have been growing in the focus segments, which we have got right from the commercial vehicles to motorcycle to B2B to infrastructure. We will continue focusing on this. We are launching obviously a few synthetic grades. In passenger car, as our market share is low, we are pushing there. It's also a distribution numbers game. In industrial, we are looking at metalworking fluids. We are looking at other segments in industry like textile, like plastic molding. We're definitely looking at basic industries. If you look at steel, cement, these are segments which are there. Plus infrastructure, we have a dedicated team. So really focusing on growth with our infrastructure customers. We're very happy to be associated with many OEMs, more than 30 OEMs we have tie-ups with. So I would say all-round growth in the segments that we have focused in. Okay. And for Gulf, we want to add value-add products. We have been pioneers of long drain oils. So we are coming up with oils with longer drain, like in that tractor segment recently. Also, we have a range of EV fluids now, which is available globally, and we have started introducing that in India. The market is quite nascent, but we are talking to OEMs where we can make a good play here.
EV fluids, you mean the coolant for the batteries or the lubricants per se?
Yeah, you see, EVs will require brake fluids, they will require transmission, axle, and they will require definitely coolants, as you rightly said. So in all these areas we are working. The car segment is evolving because some of the lubricants will require special electro properties, thermo properties, and in two-wheelers, of course, the requirement is low, but initially you would have some requirement, and as the EV industry evolves, the role of coolants will also play a major role.
Yeah. Some time ago when we were talking, you mentioned about using solid lubricants as coatings and all. What is the update?
Well, definitely R&D is focusing along with our R&D partners, the additive companies. We are seeing a lot of work there, but certainly that is quite expensive for Indian requirements now. And we are working on other options, as I mentioned to you, on long drain oils, more synthetic grades, which will help the industry and will give longer life.
And specialty car care products is what one other thing that you mentioned earlier. So how is it progressing?
Well, car care, we have a global range of car care products, but in India you have to, it's obviously an evolving, there's a lot of, sensitivity now and a lot of awareness on that. So we will be looking at how we can look at this segment, and certainly for us now, AdBlue is providing a good opportunity, which is linked to the BS6 norms. So we are focusing on that and definitely look at whatever new car care products we can look at.
What are the products you have in that?
Well, at the moment in India, we have not actively marketed a lot. Globally, we have a range of car care products, but we are looking at two-wheeler car care products in India now.
So, due to environmental reasons and then the availability or the fossil fuel, demand for fossil fuel, I think companies are working on bio-based lubricants. What is your experience?
Well, certainly people are looking at options where you can look at sustainability, and some of the products we have like metalworking, hydraulics, high-end, people are looking at how the agriculture type of products, rapeseed oil, the others can be used in these, and this is being looked at for some of these products because obviously there is a performance and a requirement for the level of performance, but certainly we are seeing that in metalworking and hydraulic there is an option to use that, and we have been pursuing that in some of these products. We are also looking ahead and seeing how we can look at these for some of our motorcycle oils. So this is work is on currently. So it'll be interesting to see how we can develop that as a substitute for what we are using today.
Oh, that will be interesting to know. About the aftermarket initiative, like for example, you have a lot of retail outlets and other things. If you can throw a little more light on that.
Certainly, we've looked at investing in our brand for the last 14-15 years using Cricket and of course our global platforms. We are investing close to 5-6% of our revenue. Our brand has become quite strong as per internal tracks. So distribution touch points becomes a very important element of that. It's like a consumer product. So as the brand consideration, the brand awareness has increased, there is a need and there is a requirement to increase distribution touch points. We have about 75,000 touch points in the retail market. We want to look at a 15-20% growth in that, both in urban and rural. We also have branded garages called bike stops and car stops, which is sort of a dedicated, captive market for us. So these are elements where the distribution plays a key role, because customers would go and ask for the product, consider the product, and we are going to increase our distribution. So hoping these touch points will go up by 15-20% annualized, and a lot of effort is going into that, both in terms of digitizing our initiatives. So we are looking at that as a key growth engine.
In fact, I wanted to ask you about the digitalization initiative. Any app or anything related to digitalization that you're working on now?
Yeah, so I think this journey has started well before the last 2-3 years, but now gathering more pace because of people having access on the mobile phone. So right from our mechanics, our retailers, our end customers, our quality, feedback, all this is now digitized in terms of apps. So people can scan apps, get access to information, can get loyalty programs, can talk to us in terms of our customers. Internally also is playing a big role with our customers. We have digitized processes where they can see the data, online data, real-time data, and customers, influencers, all of them are now on apps, our loyalty programs, and these are things which are what we call as Gulf One, a network which will cater to all these needs.
Okay. On the manufacturing side, what is the update?
Well, we have 2 plants, so we have a capacity of 140,000 KL. Our growth plans are definitely to grow 2 to 3x the market, so double-digit growth. So I think next 2 to 3 years we do have the capacity, but we are looking at planning ahead to see what we can do in terms of, we have blending capacity, and we'll be adding some filling lines. So besides the normal annual capex, we would look at a growth plan in terms of the facilities, adding filling lines and packing lines. Maybe 2 years from now, that plan needs to be drawn out now so that we can implement in time.
That will be a greenfield or brownfield?
No, we have enough blending capacity for the next 4-5 years. So we'll be more of, in our current plants, we have plans to augment the filling and the packing lines.
What's the capex that you have planned for?
So normal capex of ours is about 10-12 crores a year, but once these plans are made, probably it will require some additional inputs.
On this note, Mr. Chawla, thank you so much for taking your time talking to Mobility Outlook. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, pleasure. Thank you.